if you call other All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FutureEdge Conference, Day 1. Welcome to where you are going to transform your life. And I want to welcome you, and I want to state that you are in the right place. You are in the right place, right? You are in the right place. So, one of our speakers is here already. One of our speakers is here already, and I would basically just invite him to the stage because we are far behind schedule. So, but before we start, I would like you to invite your friends, your families, wherever you have them, just tell them to join this live because it's going to be of great benefit to them. I can't see prominence again. So if you are here, just let me know that you are here by saying hi, hello, good evening. Let's know where you are watching from. Let's know where you are coming from. Let's know where you are listening from. Let me have that in the comments. All right. Sir Prominence. I don't know if Sir Prominence is still here. Let me see. Okay. I want to welcome Sir Prominence Promise, but I am not seeing him here again. But if you can hear me, let me confirm if you can hear me and if you can see me. If you can hear me and you can see me, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, Bolarinwa Okwade, hello, good evening, welcome. We are happy to have you here. Solomon Otta, thank you very much. Good evening, welcome. We are happy to hear you here. We are happy to have you here. Okay, you can hear me and you can see me. All right, so we are good to go. Thank you very, very much for joining. We appreciate your presence. Please do well to invite your friends, to invite your families, to invite everyone that is around you, your neighbor. Do well to do good to them by inviting them to join this live stream because it's going to be a time of great transformation. The convener in person of Abel Ogbonaya has put in a lot into making this event a success, right? The FutureEdge Conference. Jacinta Anuka, loud and clear, thank you very much. Bola Rokade can hear me. Thank you very much. So without further ado, we would begin now. I'm trying to see if we have our first speaker. Just give me some minutes. I want to see if we have our first speaker. All right, I think that network kicked him out. So before we bring him up, I want you to tell me in the comment, what do you look forward to in this conference? What are the things that you look forward to? Do you look forward to learning about branding? Do you look forward to learning more about how to transform your life? Do you look forward to networking with people? Do you look for what do you look forward to? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know, because you know that the theme of this conference is about transforming your life. So that there's going to be a huge transformation here tonight, and I am ready for it. To be frank, I am ready for it. So while we wait for our first speaker, let me know what you look forward to in this conference. And do well to still invite your friends and families. Do well to invite your friends and families. Everyone possible, just invite everyone. Solomon Otta, Bolarinwa, Jacinta, let me know what you look forward to in this conference. Okay, Sir Prominence is back. Welcome, Sir Prominence. I think the network kicked you out. I've been expecting you. Welcome, sir. We are happy to have you. And we'll just start right now with our first speaker. So our first speaker, as you can see, without wasting much time, is Sir Prominence. Sir Prominence is the impact evangelist, right? Is a man of great value. I'm not reading his bio. I'm just talking based on what I know, right? Is a person that does not just teach you from should we say head knowledge. It teaches you the practicality of whatever topic he has been given. So you all should get ready to learn, to unlearn, to relearn from our speaker for today, our first speaker for today. So with a round of applause, you can even stand wherever you are. With a round of applause, I want you to make welcome Mr. Prominence Promise to the stage. Drum rolls. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Please confirm you can hear me before I begin. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, please. I can hear you, sir.
All right. So apparently, other persons can hear me as well. So let me go through the comments. All right. So I can see the comments. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We've taken quite a lot of time already from the time allocated. I'm going to do something real quick. Hopefully, the session will also have a very good effect on you. Thank you very much to my dear friend and brother, Mr. Abel, and his entire team at FutureEdge. Thank you for putting this together. Hopefully, this will be a good boost for everyone as they kickstart the year 2025. We're discussing on something that is very, we want us to have a conversation. So I don't want it to just look like a conference where I'm teaching you and you have to listen. Irrespective of the virtual barrier that we have, I want us to have a conversation, right? So you keep it lively in the comments, you keep it lively with yourselves. Yeah, I want us to have a conversation, although I've been given a topic and I'm going to have a conversation around the topic. It's on the subject of purpose. So if I'm to do a survey and I want to ask how many of you have heard about purpose, I would realize that at least, maybe not to say 100%, 99% of you here understand the concept of purpose or have come across the concept of purpose in different forms, in its different variations at any level. Yeah, Perhaps some of you have even spoken about purpose. Yeah. Perhaps some of you have even, taught others, guided others to the path of purpose. Purpose. It's good. But I'm going to be having this conversation from a little bit of different perspectives tonight. And I'm going to break it down into three as we discuss the concept of purpose. Now, I'm doing this because I'm very sure that quite a number of us have understanding about the subject of purpose. But then, what is it about purpose that a lot of people don't pay attention to? I'm going to be looking at three things. I'm going to be talking about patterns. I'm going to be talking about not just patterns, I'll be talking about phases, PHASES. I'm going to be talking about phases. I'm also going to be talking about people, patterns, phases, and people. So please note this down: patterns, phases, and people. You see, I'm not just talking about purpose, but I like that the team of Future Edge has put together not just the concept of purpose for me to talk about, but purpose on the move. So the topic explains itself that we're talking about a progression of happenings, a progression of events. So as we look at purpose on the move, these three things I'm going to talk about will actually help us to a perspective that I believe will be of great insight and impact to everyone listening tonight. So once again, as I look at the subject of purpose on the move, I'll be considering patterns, I'll be considering phases as well as people. So let's go to the first. So many times, people talk about purpose. They want to fulfill purpose. How do I fulfill purpose? What do I do about purpose? How do I know my purpose? How do I manifest my purpose? How do I, give out my purpose? How do I deploy my purpose? But I think that we are asking the wrong questions, or not entirely the right questions. Yeah. I usually say that as we talk about the concept of purpose, we must pay attention to patterns. So many times we are engrossed with what we want to do at the detriment of the events of our lives, the sequences, the rhythms by which our lives play by. So people want to fulfill purpose, people want to discover purpose, people want to deploy their purposes at different capacities, in different capacities. The question is, as you look at purpose, how well have you paid attention to the patterns of your life? Sorry, Nigeria has done this. Let me put on, just give me a moment.
Okay, so Prominence will be back soon. Let's just begin to digest the little that we've heard while he returns to give us more. So he has talked about people, right? Faces, I guess. So he'll be talking about purpose, and he has mentioned pattern, faces, and people in relationship to, or in relationship with purpose. So let's give him some time to return to the call. All right, so I can see that some of you already wrote down what you look forward to. But Lauren says, I look forward to learning on how to transform my life as a teenager. Great. Anuka says she looks forward to transformation and more knowledge on how to work with people. That's great. Solomon Otta says, I am here to learn and connect with amazing persons. The lineup of speakers and panelists are excellent, and I am sure nothing short of value will be shared. You are right, 100%. And nothing short of value will be shared. So, I mean, let's just focus learn, jot down. That's true. If you don't have your jotter, please go and get them now. Now, your jotter and your pen, get them now so that you can have the best. You can have something to always go back to even when the conference is over. So get your jotter, get your pen, and let's give Subliminal some time before he returns. Okay, let me see if I can add him back. I've been muted. Sir Prominence, please, we are on it. We will add you back. We apologize for the glitch. Okay, I think the admin is here now. She will add Sir Prominence back so we can continue with the value. All right, sir, you're welcome once again.
All right, thank you. Sorry for the glitch. Please confirm you can hear me now. Confirm that you can
Yes,
still
I
hear me.
can. I can.
All right. So, all right. I was talking about patterns, and I said a lot of people, when we talk about purpose, with so many questions of how do I fulfill purpose, how do I deploy my purpose, what do I do about purpose, and all of that. People don't pay attention to patterns. And when I talked about patterns, I was simply talking about the series of events, the readings of your life, how they play out at certain times. You see, one of the easiest way in discovering purpose, in discovering what you are called to do, please confirm you can hear me. Please confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you, sir. I can.
Okay, okay. One of the one of the things I recommend when it comes to discovering purpose is paying attention to patterns. You see, it is easy to pay attention to the event of things that happens outside your life. It is easy to pay attention to occurrences around you as it concerns people around you, maybe role models, maybe people you look up to. But then it is really difficult. I realize that it is really difficult for people to look within themselves and pay attention to the event of things that have happened with them, the sequence of things, the pattern of things that have happened with them over time. And so, one of the easiest ways, one of the easiest ways to discover purpose is to pay attention to patterns. But sadly, we live in a very busy world. We live in a very noisy world. We live in a very distracted world where a lot of people are carried away by occurrences outside at the expense of the patterns of things that happens within them, that happens around them, and that has happened with them. And by patterns, what do I mean? When you see the consistency of your life in a particular area, when you see the consistency of an event around your life, around any area of your life, it could be finances, it could be religion, it could be career, it could be financial, whatever area of your life, pay attention to the patterns that have occurred over time. It is a subtle message of what your life was meant to manifest. So that you don't get carried away with the event of things that play out outside and around your life. You don't get carried away. So the patterns of things, I want to try to be fast. The patterns of things will help you. It will give you, now I used to tell people, success, every success leaves a clue. Now, let's shift a little bit from success. Every event, every occurrence leaves a clue. The problem is people are too busy, especially young people. We are too busy not to pay attention to these clues. Actually, clues are very subtle. They are not so obvious. It requires a level of focus. It requires a level of focus to identify these clues and begin to drive your life along that trajectory. Please, are we together? Let me know we are together. Please confirm you can hear me. I just want to be sure you can hear. Okay, you can hear me. All right. Now, you have to pay attention to these patterns. So, over the last decade of your life, over the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years of your life, what has it been that was the summary of your passion? Look at where your passion was tilting towards. Look at where your thought processes were tilting towards. Look at where your habits, your attitudes, your desires were tilting towards. These are patterns. Somehow you will discover the consistency of these patterns over time. It was a clue for you to discover what it is your life is driving forward or towards. Now, that gives you an idea of the concept of purpose, an understanding that purpose is not a cast in the stone. Are we together? Purpose is not a cast in the stone, it is progressive. And that is why I'm going to talk about the second thing, phases. That as we look at the subject of purpose on the move, you have to also pay attention to phases. And you would realize you'd realize that these patterns occur from time to time. And as I want to talk about phases, I'm talking about major deciding moments of your life. Please, can you still hear me? Can you still
Yes,
hear
sir.
me?
You can.
I'm talking about major decisive moments of your life. So, as we consider the subject of purpose on the move, while you pay attention to patterns, the sequence and the reading by which your life has played out, the consistency of patterns that your life has played by over the years, over time, it gives you a clue as to what exactly your life should be about, as to what exactly should be playing out with your life, right? And this will also help you to pay attention to phases. I come back to the fact that we live in a very busy world today. We live in a very distracted world as well, such that when people get to the major deciding moments of their lives, they don't pay attention to it. That is why I see a lot of people that have made costly mistakes with their lives, very costly mistakes, because they didn't pay attention to phases. Don't get engrossed with what you want to do in your life at the expense of the phase you are in life. Because as a matter of fact, just like I said initially, that purpose is not a cast in the stone. It is always in progress. It is always in motion. Every phase of your life will determine how you should adjust the concept of purpose. Yes, because every phase of your life will demand a different manifestation of your life. Every phase of your life will demand a different manifestation of your life, will demand a different delivery, will demand a different you. There are major deciding phases. The phase where people want to go into tertiary institutions, the phase where people want to get married, the phase where you want to get into relationships, the phase where you want to build a company, the phase where you want to partner with people, the phase where you want to invest in travels and tours to network people. These are major deciding phases of your life. So these phases will determine the level of adjustment, the kind of adjustment, the kind of tweak you are going to give to your purpose. Because here's the thing, when people talk about purpose, you can't separate vision from purpose. You can't separate mission from purpose. You can't separate values from purpose. So each of these phases of your life, there are key deciding moments, would ensure that somehow you tweak your vision. So when purpose is not a cast in the stone, vision is not a cast in the stone. As a matter of fact, what carried your life since the last 10 years may not be sufficient enough to carry your life in the next 10 years. So let me say this. Are you aware that in the progression of purpose, the only thing that is constant is value? I'm going to say this. When I mean value, I'm talking about value systems. Your value systems of integrity, the character, your character you build. I mean, because great men are men of character. They don't break the ranks. On the journey of purpose, as we look at a topic, purpose on the move, the only thing that is constant are your value systems. Your value systems are meant to grow over time. They are not meant to change, because at the foundation of your purpose should be value systems, because value systems are the sustaining factors for your purpose and vision. So on on the move of purpose, on the progress of purpose, vision will definitely have a time where you need to tweak it. Yes, because phases will determine it. The vision you carried before you got married or until the time you want to get married, there will be a tweaking because something will change. That phase will require a different level of your deploying of purpose. You are transitioning into a different career. Maybe you were in the health sector. Somehow you decided to tweak your trajectory of the health sector, maybe from major medicine and surgery. You decided to go into perhaps anatomy and physiology. You would realize that your vision will be influenced. So I'm saying all of this because I see a lot of young people get confused every time. And they say, sir, especially on this concept, time will fail me. We would have had a lot of conversations on this. Especially on this issue of being a multi-potentialite. Sir, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I do a lot of things. What then is my purpose? So let me quickly settle this. See, what you can do is different from who you are. What you can do is different from who you are. So stop getting confused with the many things you can do with who you are. Because as you look at purpose, purpose is the sum total of who you are and what you should be doing, not necessarily your abilities. Purpose is about your endowment, your calling, your assignment, and not about your abilities. Because abilities can be built, capacities can be built for what you were called to do. So it is not an issue of skill, it is an issue of endowment. But how do you pay attention to endowment? You have to study patterns. Are we together? So because I want to go to the last one so we can wrap this up. So you have to study patterns. Look at what it is your life has been tilting towards over time. Look at what it is your life, the reading that's been playing out with your life, like a music. Look at the readings, the consistency of the readings, your life. Look at the consistency of your messaging. Look at the consistency of your values. It will give you a sense of what you are meant to be doing. And it takes a lot of focus to actually look at that. And that helps you to be discerning enough at the phases where you find yourself. Because as a matter of fact, why purpose is progressive, each phase will require you to make a different decision than you have made in the past. Each phase of your purpose will require you. And when you make decisions like that at each of these phases, you would realize that one thing is constant. What is it that is constant? Simple. Your purpose, your endowment, your callings, your assignments. You begin to feel that tweak. You begin to sense that tweak over time. You feel that there's a need to adjust based on the current phase of your life. Because if you keep doing things the same way you've been doing them, you'll keep getting the same results you've been getting. And so this leads to the last one, people. And so as we look at progress of purpose or your purpose in progress, in between your patterns and people are phases. That is why phases are major deciding factors or moments that influences our purposes. So that you don't get all overwhelmed with the fact that I'm confused. I used to do this thing before, but suddenly it looks like I don't have the passion for it. Passion is not enough to sustain purpose. Passion is not enough to sustain purpose. Suddenly, I don't feel like it again. Suddenly, I just realized that I think that I want to explore something new. Your phase is determining that. It is going to determine the kind of people that you gravitate towards and the people that gravitate towards you. And so when we want to consider purpose, you realize that over time there is also going to be a transitioning of people in your life. So let me say this: 20 friends cannot be friends for the next 20 years. 20 friends cannot be friends for the next 20 years. This is nothing to argue about. You know why? Every phase of your life's purpose will always determine the kind of people that should be available at that time. So let me quickly say this again, that when we come on the issue of friendship of people, there are people that show up in your life for a reason. There are others that show up for a season, and there are others that show up for life. There are friends for a reason. When they are done, they leave. I mean, it is not a relationship that is forced. There are friends for a season, a particular phase of your life. Did you realize that there are many people you left and many people that left you? No quarrel, no argument, but you just realize that that vibes on vibe just naturally died down. I mean, everything became neutral. That enthusiasm, that zeal you would always have to sustain that relationship, somehow it faded away. Nothing went wrong. You don't force it. But somehow you realize that on the phase where you now find yourself, people you never called for in your life, somehow the connection began. There are many people I've met on this internet I never planned on meeting. Aside networking, aside the concept of networking, the correlation of your purpose with another man's purpose is what will make two of you find yourself under the same network. So that you don't feel bad. I see people that feel bad. I mean, they go through this. Sometimes it could be a blackmail on themselves. Like, I mean, this person just left my life. I don't know what I did. And this entitlement, like, what did I do? You just left my life. And I mean, we're not talking again. We used to talk. I've been messaging you. I mean, you don't force it. You don't force it. Why? There may be other reasons for that. One of the major reasons is the fact that either the person growth is at the center of all of this, but it is either the person's purpose at that moment change, vision change, and somehow you were no longer a major part of it, or your own vision changed and the person was no longer a major part of it. Everybody has to move on. Everybody has to move on. But for as long as there is a consistency of vision, there's a consistency of value which is constant, there's a consistency of mission, there's a consistency of the correlation of your assignment. These people will always be there. And when you understand this concept of patterns, phases, and people, understanding your purpose, determining your purpose, deploying your purpose would not actually be an Herculean task. It's not something that will get you confused. So the subject of purpose should not make you confused. I just think that we have a lot of people who are too distracted to pay attention with the occurrences in their lives. They don't pay attention to the happenings around them. They get carried away with the many events happening outside. When they see people transitioning, they're like, oh wow, I would love to be like this. But they don't pay attention to their journey enough to see how they are unique in their own selves, in inspiring the lives of other people. So today, if you want to pay attention to your purpose, if you want to enjoy fulfilling purpose, please pay attention to the consistency of the patterns in your life, the rhythms by which your life has played by over time, irrespective of circumstances. Pay attention to major deciding moments of your life, which are the phases of your life, and pay attention to the transitioning of people, how they come, how they go, and what kind of people. It will help you on this journey of purpose. Purpose is not a cast in stone, it's something that occurs in your life over time. So with this, I'm going to wrap up and hand over to our moderator, rather. Thank you so much for the time. Sorry about the earlier glitch from our host and from our end as well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please, can we celebrate our prominence? If you felt the fire and if you've gotten value, I want you to jam your hands together. Let me see your fire emoji. Let me see your dancing emoji. Let me see, just give me something that represents what you feel right now after this first session. Let's go. I'm waiting. Thank you very much, Sir Prominence. We have learned a lot personally. I don't want to speak on behalf of others. I'm sure they've learned a lot also. Thank you very much, Queen. Thank you, Bola Riwa. I can see the fire emoji. I can see the dancing emojis. Let more come in. Udu, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can see that. Quickly, just tell me one thing that stood out for you from everything that Sir Prominence has spoken about. He has talked about people, he has talked about faces, he has talked about patterns as they relate to you finding or discovering and fulfilling your purpose. So let me know what stood out for you. Elizabeth, thank you very much. So much value. Which of the values stood out for you? Let me know. Kufri Daniel, thank you. Let me know what stood out for you. Let me know what stood out for you. Thank you very much, Sir Prominence. I got so much from that session. Okay, all right. I got a lot from that session. The fact that the patterns of our lives, the faces in our lives, and the people that come and go in different phases of our lives matters and have a connection with what our purpose is. And the fact that purpose is progressive, it is not something that just happens and that's the end. It is progressive. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. In after discovering purpose, you keep fulfilling. There's no end to that. I learned that as well. And the fact that your values also matter. And you mentioned that 20 friends cannot be friends for 20 years, because I mean there will be shifts in patterns in people's life. There will be phases where some of your friends can't continue with you, not because you have any quarrel or because of anything that is negative, but because the demand on your life is beyond or does not match with the patterns and the faith with the patterns of their life and the places where they are at that moment. I've learned so much. Please let me know what you guys also learned. See the way I'm the only one talking. Okay, Bolarinwa says there are people that show up in your life for a reason, for a season, and some they show up for life. True. I heard that too. Thank you very much, Bolarinwa. I see you've been attentive. Solomon Otter says, in the progression of purpose, the only thing that is constant is value. Once you keep giving value, you remain relevant, right? So one thing that is constant is giving out value. Just keep giving out value. Purpose is progressive, but value is one of the things that sustains purpose, right, in its progression. Elizabeth says, at different stages we meet with different persons that align with our purpose. Yes, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Okay, Angela says she learned a lot on relationship with people. She learned a lot on relation. Thank you very much. Solomon Otta also says, I learned that every phase of life will demand a different manifestation of your life. You're on point. Thank you very much. I love the fact appreciating with a round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. We are so happy to have you. Thank you for the value that you dished out. We are happy, we are glad, we are grateful, we are thankful to you. I've seen purpose on a different in a different light this evening. Honestly, I have seen purpose in a different, like Sir Prominence said when he started. He said some of us might have taught on purpose, some of us might have heard teachings on purpose, and that's true, but this one is a different perspective on purpose. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate, and I know that everyone is grateful. Everyone is grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the audience. Okay, if you have any question, please begin to drop them in the comment section. So Prominence is here just for 5 minutes to answer your question. If you have questions, let's have them before we have our second speaker. Questions, doubts that you want to clear, areas where are not very clear to you. Why should this be this? Why should that be that? Why did you mention this? Why did you put it like this? I heard it like this, and I think it should be like this. What do you think about that? If you have any question, if you have any doubts you want to clear, let's have them in the comment section. And Sir Prominence is here to give the right answers to your questions. Is here to clear your doubt up and make you see clearly. So let's have your question. Let's have your question. I'm going to wait for 1 minute. If I don't see any questions, then I would assume that we understand the topic quite well. We understand it perfectly. And we're going to move on to inviting our second speaker. So I'm going to wait for, it's even up to 1 minute. Let's say 30 seconds. If you have your questions, type, and send them in. Type, and send them in. Daniel says that this was really a value-packed session. What stood out for me is the fact that one needs to be focused on what he or she really wants in life. Yes. Without focus, you can achieve nothing. Thank you very much, Daniel. Solomon Otter has a question, Sir Prominence. I hope you are still there. Solomon Otter says, can one be successful even without discovering purpose? Sir Prominence, are you there?
I am.
All right. So Solomon Otter, we have a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It says, can one be successful even without discovering purpose?
The subject of success is very relative. Everybody defines what success is to them. But in connection to your purpose, if you don't do what you have to do in connection to your purpose, whatever you define as success is not success. So it has to be defined in relation to your purpose. So I see people that say, especially in this day, let's just make money. So I keep asking, aside money that you make, what else can you make with your life? Aside making money, what else can you make? So people keep. I've seen this question so many times, and then I think it's a very good question for actually the majority of people that are just engrossed with they just want to be engrossed with output. See, it is very risky for me on the line of purpose. I usually say that it is risky to focus on the proceeds at the expense of the process. It is risky to focus on the proceeds at the expense of the process. So when you talk about success and purpose, you have to define what is success. Now, I'm a learning and development specialist. On learning process, I understand learning processes, and there is something called measuring success. It's part of the evaluation processes that happen on the learning design evaluation. We have formative evaluation, we have summative evaluation. How do I know that a learning, or how do I know that a subject matter has done the work it's supposed to do in the lives of the learners? How do I know? How do I discover that? So in this context now, that this learning was a success, that this learning was successful. It is simple. I will go back to my learning objectives. I will go back to my learning goals, the objectives I set. If you have ever been a teacher in school, those of you that have taught at any point, remember when you used to write lesson notes? In your lesson notes for the week, you write something like, by the end of this lesson, the students are supposed to identify so and so, do so and so and so. If you want to measure your success in relation to purpose, we have to first of all go and check what exactly was the purpose. Any success outside that, we can't grade it. I mean, maybe except you want to just feel good to yourself and encourage yourself to tell yourself you're successful. Because at the end of the day, you realize that in relation to purpose, in the context of your purpose, of your life's objectives and goals, your life vision and mission, what exactly was successful if it does not correlate with the foundation? Because if you want to determine the future of a thing, you should be able to pay attention to the foundation. The future lies in the foundation. So I think I'm going to answer this question that way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Solomon Otter, I hope that answers your question. The future depends on the foundation. So to determine the future, you need to check the foundation. So based on your definition of success, whatever your definition is, that will determine if you can, if your purpose aligns with your definition of success. Thank you very much, sir, for that answer. I hope that answers the question, Solomon Otter. Just one more question, sir. Angela here says, what do you have to say about people who leave you and come back behaving to be sorry? What do you say about people who leave you and come back behaving to be sorry? Because you mentioned something about friends that leave you at a point. So I think she wants to buttress on that fact that there are people that friends that leave you, they don't just leave you, they now come back to behave like they are sorry. So what do you have to say about that?
So this is simple. If somebody leaves my life and the person decides to come back, every action around leaving and coming back was preceded by a decision. There was a decision to leave and there was a decision to come back. I think you should also leave with the decision to accept if I'm going to accept you back or not. It all falls back on decision, because you see, this thing called friendship, it hinges on trust, and trust requires time. Whatever made you to leave, you should also give me time to consider if we could be on that same rapport. But I tell you something for sure, that it would never be the same way it was. It would never be the same way it was, especially if the leaving did not happen on a so much good ground. And obviously, from your question, it doesn't seem like it happened on a good ground, because the person came back behaving, in your word now, behaving sorry. The person came back behaving sorry. I think it's your decision. They decided to leave and decided to come back behaving sorry. You can also decide to stay and, try to give it time. For me, trust requires time. The person apologizes. Obviously, I accept your apologies, but you also give me time to build that trust again. Because anything that makes you to have left, you broke the trust. So why don't it took time to, for God's sake, it took time to have created that relationship you left. It took time. So for the fact that you broke it and you want to build a bond again, please give me time to. Let's give it time, right? Let's time. The difference between here and there is time. Let's give it time. That's what I would say. It's my perspective. I hope it helps you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Sir Prominence. Please, can we celebrate Sir Prominence? Let's celebrate him with a round of applause. I know you've gained so much value. I can see the comment section is bubbling, and I know that's because there's been so much value flowing from Sir Prominence. And yes, it has been a great session. We've answered questions, we've listened to the session, and Angela, I hope that answers your question. Right? So you now know what to do to people who leave you and then come back behaving. Not even that they are sorry, they are behaving like they are sorry, right? So what made them leave, right, will make you determine if you are going to continue or otherwise. So I think that's basically your decision. If you know what made them leave, then you need time to see if you can continue or otherwise. I actually love that question, that answer. All right. Thank you very much, Sir Prominent. Once again, we are happy. We are glad to have you, and it has been a pleasure having you with us on this in this conference, the Future Edge Conference. So, without further ado, who is ready for the next session? Let me know if you are ready for the next session. If you are not ready, then we are not going to move forward. But if you are ready, then we move. Let me see your responses in the comment section so I can be sure that everyone is ready. So what we are doing next is basically bringing up the second speaker, our second speaker for tonight, because we're going to be having two speakers tonight. We've had one in person of Sir Prominence, who spoke on the topic of purpose. He told us about the faces, he told us about people, and he also told us about patterns, right, as they relate with purpose. He brought a new perspective to everything around purpose, because I've heard about purpose in time past, and I've never seen it in this perspective. And we've had him, so the next speaker will be coming up right about now. Let me see if you are ready, if anybody is ready. Okay, Tadenya Kuhu, I apologize if I missed the pronunciation, says it's ready. Solomon Otta says it's ready. I think that we are going to give the best participating person. We are going to have giveaway for this person. I think I've been saying Solomon Otta, I've been saying Angela too. Solomon Otta says, I am ready. Queen says, Queen is clapping. Okay. Daniel says, I am ready. Okay. So since everyone is ready, I would like to bring up the next speaker without further ado. So I would like to welcome, let me see if he's at the backstage. Let me confirm. All right, I have confirmed and I've been told that he's at the backstage. So let me just call his name so that we can welcome him to the stage and he can take over without further ado. So we have Mr. Israel Alabi as our second speaker, and they'll be speaking on the topic future-proofing yourself. Future-proofing yourself. So how to future-proof yourself, basically preparing to attract and maximize opportunities in 2025. So if you know that friend that has had opportunities and lost it in time past, tell them to come here now. Tag them, tell them to come now. We are about to see how to maximize, how to prepare to attract and maximize opportunities in 2025. You know, it is one thing to prepare and attract opportunities. That's one thing. You can prepare and attract. But how do you get the best out of what you've attracted? How do you get the best out of that opportunity? That's what Mr. Israel will be letting us know about as we have him in this session on the first day of the Future Edge Conference as our second speaker. So I'm going to make welcome Mr. Israel Alabi, and I want you to join me with a round of applause, a virtual round of applause to welcome Mr. Israel Alabi to take the stage and speak to us on future-proofing yourself, preparing to attract and maximize opportunities in 2025. You're welcome, Mr. Israel. You can have the stage now.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Ladonipis. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing a very great job. I've been enjoying your moderation.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much. I really want to appreciate the convener of the Future Edge Conference, Mr. Abel, Thank you very much for organizing this very fantastic event and for giving young ones opportunity to learn from other young persons that are doing very well. Because one thing that is lacking in our society is peer-to-peer mentorship. In our age now, everybody's looking for mentors that are far away there, mentors up there. When you have treasure troves of opportunities of values around you, your friends, your peers, right? They have a lot of things to offer you. But a lot of us, we look down on those that maybe we're on the same level, they're a little bit ahead of us or something like that. When they have lots of opportunities. And so it's a very big acknowledgement and appreciation to Mr. Abel for bringing this together. Thank you very much. And I also want to appreciate the first speaker, Mr. Prominence. Yeah, I really grabbed a number of things when I joined the call. Thank you very much for shedding light on purpose. Right. So right now, I want to talk about future-proofing yourself and how to position yourself to attract and maximize opportunities in 2025. Right. So 2025 has started. How's 2025 been? Let me ask. Those on the call, how's 2025 been for you? Today is 16th, right? Or 17th. Yeah, so spend 17 days in 2025. So how's it been? Anyone? Has it been fine, going as planned? Or you just feel like, oh, I don't know. It's like 2025 is just like 2024. Nothing really, maybe you are still warming up your engine. You're still trying to observe one or two things. Anyone saying anything? Okay, maybe they're still typing. Anyway, 2025 has started. Right, it has been beautiful so far. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Solomon. Yeah, I said it has been beautiful so far. So 2025 has started, whether you like it or not. In fact, a number of opportunities have their deadlines elapsing already. A number of opportunities, 15th of January, 13th, 14th, today 17th, so opportunities are expiring today. Right. So how do you prepare yourself? How do you position yourself to attract and maximize all these opportunities? Those are the things that I want to talk about. And I would like to share stories. I like to share stories a lot because I believe that you will forget a lot of things that we are going to talk about tonight, but you remember the stories. You remember the stories even years after tonight. So I've learned that, and that's why I'm going to tell stories. But I'm going to extract principles from the stories. So one of the first things that you really need when it comes to attracting and maximizing opportunities is having a resilient mindset, right? So people talk about mindset a lot, but it took me a long time to understand mindset. It took me a long time because I felt like, especially because, I was very bright in my previous years in school. So I really did not pay attention to the mind. I just felt like it was natural for me. And a number of persons I've read stories on social media, and I realized that people that might have a bright start early in life, they don't really pay attention to their mindset. So when something goes wrong for them, it just keeps going down the drain, right? That's why having a resilient mindset is key. Is key. So when we talk about mindset, it's about how you think, how you feel, what you believe, like a set of beliefs that guide your life. That is what your mindset is all about. And the thing is that a lot of persons have faulty mindset. If you have faulty mindset, you can't even see opportunities. So it starts from your mind. I remember I listened to a message one time, and the minister was talking about, your mindset determines the level of your life. Right? Your mindset determines the kind of opportunities that you attract. Your mindset determines how you position, how you prepare, and how you take advantage of opportunities. It all depends on your mind. And the minister says something that if your mind is at the level of ₦1,000,000, right? If your mind is at the level of ₦1,000,000, if somebody gives you $1 billion, you will find ways to lose that billion until you come back to the level of 1,000,000. So if your mind is at the level of 1,000, if they give you ₦1,000,000, you'll find ways to come back to 1,000. In fact, you won't feel comfortable with ₦1,000,000. You won't feel comfortable at all until you lose it to the point where your mind can carry. So something has been going on social media, for some time now. And I also saw some posts today about, oh, this guy, fish pie guy. I don't know, all of you should be aware of that guy. He sells fish pie in a very funny manner, in a very interesting way, and was so captivating. Then he got fame. And they opened shop for him, they stocked the shop, they gave him a lot of opportunity, they gave him platform to enter premium hotels in Lagos and other things like that. What happened after a few months? He lost everything. Everything. Like, it's like somebody giving you a capital of, say, like 10 million naira, because they got him a shop, they got him goods, they stocked it, they got him freezer. But he came on social media a few weeks ago and was, saying that, oh, maybe he regretted and other things like that. And people are now beginning to develop case studies from this. What led to his fall? What led to his current predicament? The mind. The mind is so powerful. Right? The mind is so powerful that we really pay attention to it. So there was this period where it just came to my consciousness that, okay, I was doing grant opportunities, but I'd not gotten about, I think it was $10,000 or $20,000 then, something like that. That was about maybe 3-4 years ago. So it just came to my mind. When it came to my mind the first time, I rejected it. Like, there are some dreams or some things you think about, and it will be too big for your mind to conceive. So I felt like $10,000 was very massive, and oh boy, you are still talking about naira here. But after a while, I started thinking about it. Okay, now I want to picture this scenario. And that's the first thing that happens to a lot of persons. When you think about a very big dream and somebody says, oh, you can win $1 million naira, maybe in grants. And $1 million naira is too small, because they're not even talking about $1 million naira now. And some people reject it immediately, like, $1 million naira. How come? They can't picture it in their mind. And what happened? So I had to force it into my subconscious mind, to my subconscious system. So like every day I would write it down. Oh, I win $10,000 in grant funding. And as I was doing the affirmations, I was doing it intentionally. In fact, I still see the jotter sometimes. I'll be like, wow. Because at that time, I really wasn't understanding what I was doing. I just felt like, okay, let me just repeat this affirmation. I've read it in some books. And, I began to see opportunities in dollars, because these things are around us. So your mind determines how you see. It determines what you see. So we're talking about opportunities in 2025. A number of persons have applied to like 2-3 different opportunities. Some persons have not seen anyone. Some are working on opportunities right now. Some have not seen anyone. So your mind is very, very important. What are you seeing? And because I already have it in my mind that, oh, I want to win grants in dollars, 5 figures in dollars. So I began to look at opportunities. So once I see this, I look at it. It's not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. And the way I apply for it, the way I prepare for it. Because what you see determines how you move. What you see determines how you move. If you are not seeing something big, you won't move big. If you see something small, you move small. That's why you see some persons, people say that this person is doing too much. But the person feels like, I'm not doing enough. Why? Because he sees a different thing. So what are you seeing in your mind? What are you seeing in your mind? Your mindset. Another aspect of mindset, and this is the resilience part, is when you fail, when you encounter a setback, what do you do? Right? I was reading this book, and I always recommend it. Mindset, the New Psychology of Success. It's a very great book that everybody should read. As you are starting the year, read that book. Prioritize it. This January, read the book. It's going to open your mind. While I was reading the book, it made mention of a statement, and I stopped reading the book. Like, I paused. The first time I heard that scenario, I saw that scenario was in Think and Grow Rich. He said, as you are reading this book, something will click in your head. He said, stop at that moment. Don't continue reading. Stop at that moment and think about what you just read. That was what happened when I was reading that book. Right? He said, who are you when you fail? Like, I was like, I don't get. Who am I when I fail? And that's a big question we don't ask ourselves. Who are you when you fail? When you've tried everything and you don't succeed. When they say, okay, you ask everybody, just keep asking people for opportunities, and you've asked 20 persons and they told you no. What do you do at that point? If you've applied for 20 opportunities, and people call it love letters these days, right? Because when you see the letter, it looks, and if it's from foreign organizations, it is always very beautiful. Dear applicants. So when you look at that there, you feel like it may be something positive until you now say, we are extremely sorry to inform you. And you're like, oh boy. And I was even excited to look at this letter. Then you now realize that, it's a rejection mail. So you get a rejection mail. Oh, I tried in 2024. Unsuccessful. I tried in 2023. Unsuccessful. Who are you when that happens? And I realized that for me, right, I wasn't handling failure very well. I'd not failed too much, right? I'd not failed too much then. So I'd not failed too much then. But I wasn't handling those failures well. So how are you handling your failures? How are you handling your failures? That's a question to ask yourself as you're on the call. How are you handling your setback? So I started asking myself, when things become extremely difficult for me, I just give up. Like, that's it. So I've tried it many times. It's not working. I just give up. In fact, I had told myself that some things were not for me. So I don't know whether there's anyone on this call that was already thinking, okay, maybe grants is not for me. They talk about grants. It's just for those people out there. It's not for me. I can never win grants. Some people are like that because they've tried it. Oh, I've tried it once or twice. I've not won it. So I don't think I can even win it. It's in your mind. Right? So when I read that book, in fact, I had to write down in my journal, like, okay, so who are you when you fail? So that time I was doing affiliate marketing. So, and I tried. I'd tried a lot. I wasn't really into this online selling game at that time. So I tried. I ran ads, running into hundreds of thousands of naira. I did not see anything there. So the money I was supposed to have for myself, I could not use it. I could not find the money back. I could not get my money back. So I just gave up. But after reading that book, a new mentality came up, like, okay. So I started reviewing my setback. Like, I conducted an autopsy on my setback. So one thing that you can do 2025 is conduct an autopsy on your setbacks. Okay, I failed in this aspect. I failed in this aspect. Conduct an autopsy. So you wear your examiner's coat. Right? You wear your examiner's, you take your tools, your pen, your paper, your phone, and start asking yourself, okay, so I applied for this opportunity. They did not pick me. Why? Okay, that's when you realize that I actually submitted an incomplete application. I rushed the application. I wasn't paying attention. Or maybe I was very busy during that time. I wasn't paying attention to it. So I just applied anyhow. It is when you are conducting an autopsy that you understand all these things. And then you begin to make changes. So now let me quickly share an opportunity story, because I'll be sharing opportunity stories in between the session. There was this opportunity that I saw. In fact, I saw a friend of mine that got it in Lagos. So I was very excited about the opportunity. It was for startups, agri-tech, in fact, startups generally. Right? But my friend was doing agri-tech, and I was in the agri-tech space at that time. So I felt I could apply. And I applied the first time. And they did not choose me. In fact, I did not hear anything from them. It was that my friend that I got to know about the opportunity from, that posted on her status that, oh, congratulations to the new set of entrepreneurs. And I'm like, this love letter hits differently. Oh. At least some will send love letter to you, will know that, okay, I did not qualify. These ones did not send. Right? So I felt, well, what happened? So I tried again the second time. So that was about after 6 months, because it's a 6 months program. So after 6, I tried the second time. Now, my mindset is on another level now, because I've understood that when I face setback, I should conduct an autopsy. So I applied the second time. Same thing happened. right? Did not even send me a message. So I was, and this my friend now said, even when she applied the first time, she had not done as much as us. So that now made me to start reviewing my application in a different way. And you know that it was something very small, something as small as location that disqualified us. Because they were particular on geography and I didn't pay attention to it. So when I solved that problem of geography and I applied the third time, I got it. So a number of persons will not try the second time. Today, people say maybe Israel is very persistent, Israel is very determined. It's because I've learned the principle of success. You might have to fail many times until you succeed. Right? And I tried the third time and I got in. In fact, about 500 persons applied the third time. I think over 500. Over 500 persons applied. And they chose us as top 100. So we did an interview and they chose the top 30. Right? Out of the 30, we now had a physical pitch where they wanted just 20. Just 20. But now my mind was working on a different frequency. So when we got into that room, in fact, I've shared some of these stories online in beats. When we got into the room, right, I saw people coming up with different things. There was someone that was already doing like 10 million every month. There was someone that came up with like a sports equipment. You know, this basketball something, very long basketball court, this middle stuff that is there. He brought the I don't know how to call it now. It's not a culture, but that thing in the middle brought football, the basketball, brought bats and rackets. I'm like, well, this one is another level. So like, I was tempted to be intimidated. That's just the truth. So a lot of people see opportunities and they're intimidated. It's all in your mind. So I started asking myself, it doesn't matter. For them to choose me to be in this room, it means I deserve it. Right? And finally, I got into the program. In fact, I got 2 different categories of grant funding from that program that I got in the third time. Right? And they were in pounds. Is it pounds or euros? No, pounds. They were in pounds. Right? I got about 5,000 pounds and that one was much bigger than that. Because of what? My mindset. So one of the first things that I really want to emphasize is the mindset, because it determines everything. It determines everything. So start reviewing yourself. What kind of mind do you have? Does your mind repel opportunities, or does your mind attract opportunities? Does your mind let you see opportunities? Those are very, very important. So having said that, we'll breeze through the remaining. So now you want to get opportunities. What are some of the things that you need to focus on? Now I want to assume that your mind is on point. Your mind is set. You are now prepared that, okay, I want to win and I'll keep trying until I win. I'll keep trying. Now, this is different from all this, don't just give up. Sometimes you have to give up, right? Sometimes you have to give up. But you need to give up intelligently. Don't just give up and, okay, I've tried it and I'll give up. Give up with sense. Give up with intelligence. Give up based on wisdom, on insight. What is informing your decision to give up? That's the question. What's informing your decision to give up? Do you have data? Okay, I've tried this 3 times. Fine. I tried it the first time, they did not choose me. I tried the second time. The third time, I reviewed my application myself. I did the autopsy. That was what made me see that, okay, I think I did good in all these areas. But this particular one, location, I did not do good. And it was there, but I just did not pay attention to it. So it was like an oversight. Imagine I gave up. So I would not have won those 2 batches of grants in the same program, within the same program. And within about 6 months, just about 6 months duration. And the network I got from there, very massive. Very, very massive. Right? So you really need to give up based on intelligence. Give up intelligently. Give up based on insight. Don't just give up for giving up sake. Do it based on data and insight. So now you really want to assess opportunities. Do you even know what the landscape is like? Do you know the kind of opportunities that are available? We have grants. We have fellowships, right? We have sponsored trips. We have partnership. We have business support. We have tech support that are available. And these are opportunities. We have even leadership opportunities that are available. So do you even know the land? Do you know the landscape? Do you know what is available to you? If you don't know what is available, you choose anything. Somebody gave an analogy that I really understood. He said, if you are hungry, and you get to a restaurant, they have different items there, but you ask for Gary, what will they give you? That's what they will give you. Gary, because maybe your mind is just worried that, okay, maybe Gary, you don't even know whether it's free, just say, give me Gary. They will give you. And that person goes there and feels like, okay, maybe the person asks, what's available? Oh, we have jollof rice, we have fried rice, we have Chinese rice and all this stuff. Okay, what can I get? Then you can choose intelligently. So be aware of what is on ground. Be aware of the opportunities that are available to you. What organization are you running? Are you a freelancer, for instance? Or do you have a startup? Do you have a small business? Do you have an NGO? Right? What kind of venture are you building? That will influence the kind of opportunities that you look for. A lot of persons are looking for academic opportunities, scholarships. In fact, we have business scholarships. They give you scholarship to attend maybe prestigious schools like Lagos Business Schools, like Faith Foundation. It is schools like that, all on scholarship. So we know what is available for you. Another thing is to nurture relationships. I used to say that opportunities flow in circles. Opportunities flow in circle. What is your opportunity made up of? Right? What is your circle made up of? Because opportunities flow in circle. And I like to use this analogy, right? Because I'm always very grateful anytime I remember. So that was about 3 years ago, if I'm right, 2 or 3 years ago. I just came online on Facebook and I saw that, Israel, Coach Melin, that I was bearing, Ambassador Melin, Tamunoemi, tagged you on a post. Okay. I just checked because she's someone I look up to. She's somebody I respect a lot. So I just went there. I saw Linus Okori Leadership Scholarship. Which one is that again? I don't know Dr. Linus Okori. So I just saw it. I said, okay, you have opportunity to attend a 2-day training in Abuja, fully sponsored, value 500K. I'm like, 500K Abuja. And I was in Ibadan. And I saw it in the night. In fact, maybe around 9 or 10 p.m. So when I saw it, I was seeing like over maybe up to like 1,000 messages or so, very much messages. I'm like, people have already applied. They said you should pitch yourself in the comment section, why you should be chosen and all. So number one, Coach Melin tagged me, right? And she's somebody I respect. So I felt like, let me just even pay attention to it, despite the fact that a lot of persons had already sold themselves underneath. So the first thing was that, who is Dr. Linus? I asked myself. I don't know. I didn't know him then. So I said, okay, one of Africa's leading leadership experts. That's how they called him. Africa's leading leadership expert. Okay, that's fine. Leadership. I want to be a better leader. Right? I think this is something that I like. What does he do? Gotney, Guardian of the Nations Initiative or International. Fine. So what is Gotney about? So I started doing my research. That same night. So I looked at it. We said to sell ourselves in the comment section. And I was seeing people, choose me, sir. God bless you, sir. Choose me, sir. I really need these things. So I'm like, and I see some persons, some solid pitching of themselves. But I sat down, I did my research. I understood who Dr. Linus is. I understood what Gotney is about. I understood what the scholarship was about. Then I sat down and I prepared my pitch to sell myself in the comment section. Now you can see mindset in action. I would have just felt everybody has applied. Let me just leave it. Then opportunities in circle. Coach Melin tagged me. I didn't know Dr. Linus. I wasn't following him. I wasn't following Gotney. I would never have known. But she tagged me because I was in her circle. And she could remember me when she saw the opportunity. And I applied. And, because I felt a number of persons have applied. Lots of good pitches. Some more serious pitches were there too. But they just needed, I think, 20 persons. There about 20, 25 persons. And I submitted and I just, when you do that, anything that will happen, sha. And I think maybe the following day or 2 days later, I just got the mail. or the message, oh, you have been shortlisted. Are you serious? So we have to now, develop, we have to write essays and other things like that. I was so surprised. In the end, I got into the program. About 25 of us, there about 2025. We're so small. And I was thinking in my mind, I have to go to Abuja for 2 days. I've met people that are doing amazing things in that program. And I was asking myself, what if I was not connected to Coach Melon? That's one. What if I was not valuable enough to her to remember me when she saw the opportunity? So a lot of us, we are in groups, we're in communities, we're always keeping quiet. You say, me, I don't like people to know me, right? I just like to keep to myself. You are not doing yourself a favor. By being active, you are the one helping yourself. You are not helping the other persons. Feel like it's their group. It's their group. That's why I'm active there. Even not because of him. It's because of you. Because if people don't know you, people cannot refer opportunities to you. If people don't know you, people cannot nominate you. People cannot refer you. I get opportunities in my DM, maybe like let's say every week. So don't let me say every day. So it won't be like maybe it's every day. From different people. Oh, Israel, I think, this is looking for a grant writer. I know that you're a grant writer. Take this. Oh, this one is looking for, this is a leadership opportunity. Take this. This is a master scholarship. Take it. And they send it to me. And I apply for the ones I feel like. But why am I in their mind? Why am I getting those opportunities? Because of my circle. So I want you to start reviewing your circle, right? The previous speaker, Sir Prominence, was talking about 20 children cannot play for 20 years. Yes, it's true. But sometimes, even though they might not play for 20 years, they might be connected still, right? They might just not be in the same location. Maybe, some of your friends with Japa, but you can still maintain the relationship, right? And they're still yourself. If you have something to do, they will remember you. You also remember them, right? So nurture your circle. Nurture your circle. Nurture it. It's like planting a seed. You really don't know when it's going to germinate for you, right? You know when it's going to germinate for you. Another key part of future-proofing yourself for attracting opportunities in 2025 is your personal brand. Your personal brand. What is your personal brand about? What's your personal brand about? A lot of us, we've heard this thing over and over again, so we feel like, and they are just talking about it, but we are not acting on them. Your personal brand is like your online CV. Let me use the term. Your CV. Like last week, 2 persons reached out to me. Oh, Israel, I'm recommending you to persons that need grants consultants. I was surprised because seemingly these persons were more popular than me online. I don't think they even commented on my post. So although I follow them, right? I follow them. But I never even knew that maybe they were really paying attention. Online is very noisy, it's very busy. But the person just sent me a message on WhatsApp. Oh, Israel, I'm recommending you. I'm like, if I wanted to post it on, I was like, I know Israel, calm down first now. Close the deal. So I was surprised. Why? Because this person, although up there, knew what I was doing. The person knew what I was doing. The person has never commented. The person has never reacted to any of my posts about. In fact, if the person has ever reacted on my post, it will be my post about the person. I mean, one of them. To be my post about any other thing, the person has never reacted. But the person knew I was doing grants. Why? Because of my personal brand. Very strong online. So what is your personal brand saying? What's your personal brand saying? And another key part of this, right, aside from being serious and all, a lot of people miss out on consistency. People have said it in a lot. But I want you to view consistency from the aspect of loss. From the aspect of loss. What are you losing by being inconsistent? What are you losing? A lot of us we don't think about the opportunity cost. People say, okay, Israel, I see you try to post every day, you're posting every day. Why? And I tell them that it's because nobody owes me anything. It's not easy. That's just the truth. It's not easy. Some days I'm so busy. Like 2025 started busy. Really busy. Online, offline, very busy. But I still try to post maybe once, twice in a day. In fact, sometimes I'll post like 10 p.m. because during the day I'm so choked up. I don't even know, like so busy. And sometimes I'll schedule my post. Sometimes I just feel like, okay, I want to write spontaneously, but I'll try to post. Even if it's a quote that relates to my business or that it is what I'm learning or implementing, I try to post. Why? Because I look at what I'm going to miss by not being consistent. Because online, nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Just trust me. But when you build a solid brand online, when people know you with something, you come to their mind. And the more consistent you are about it, because before somebody will recommend you, let me tell you, they have done their research about you. They are sure that you can do that thing. Because in this era now that people don't want to recommend anybody anyhow anymore. So you don't want somebody that will tarnish your image. You don't want somebody that will treat you anyhow. So you are very careful. You are very careful about who you recommend. So for somebody to recommend you, they must know that you are good in this area and you can deliver. Right? So pay attention to your personal brand this year. Pay strong attention to it. Another thing that, in fact, I'd already made up my mind to do it this year, and I started last. It is running ads. Run ads. John Obidi used to say this thing, but all those times, some messages you hear it to pass through your right ear, right ear to pass through your left ear. You will not implement them. But try to run ads. Even if it's not maybe Facebook ads, and you can run influencer ads. You can run WhatsApp. Try it. Most of these things, it's because of our mind too. Because when you feel like, okay, well, I use 100K or 50K to run ads, people will just know me, they are not buying. What is the benefit? I've had people on my contact list that maybe they got into my contact list for maybe affiliate marketing, when I was doing affiliate marketing or something. And for a year, they did not patronize me. But a year after, people still reach out to me today about affiliate marketing. Oh, Israel, I want to start affiliate. I'm like, oh, but I don't even get time. Sometimes, some of those people bought my book, The First Class Edge. Because of what? They joined my contact list. And they were like, okay, it's affiliate marketing. Maybe I don't. But now, I think I like this first class that Israel is talking about. I said, this person has got this, which I can get it. I said, it's for this thing, which I can get it. Oh, for students, okay, entrepreneurs are getting it. Why are they getting it? Let me also get it. But they came to me because of affiliate marketing. But now, they've now trusted me enough to say, okay, your book that you wrote that even has your name, let me get it. Let me get it. Right? So, develop your mind to try new things this year. Develop your mind to try new things. Now, another thing that I want to say, right, is to leverage technology. Use technology to your advantage. A lot of us have these tools, but we are not using them to our advantage. Use these opportunities, use this technology to your advantage. Use social media, for instance. It's the simplest one. Use social media to your advantage. Are you taking advantage of social media? That's the question. A lot of people, in fact, I don't even have a lot of followers online. I don't have. But people see me like, Israel, I know you from Facebook, I know you from LinkedIn. And I'm like, I don't even have up to 10,000 followers on each of these platforms. But I guess the reach is even more than the followers I'm seeing. So leverage technology, social media, for instance, leverage it. 1, 2, 3, leverage those social media platforms. Then we have websites where they share opportunities. Leverage them. Leverage these platforms. We have tools now. We have AI tools that are available. Try to learn them. Don't just be like, oh boy, I'm not interested, Jerry. It's just learn it. Take advantage of those tools because they will really transform in fact, either your organization, either your business, either your own personal drive. They will really transform it. And I think lastly, let me just end with this in about 1 to 2 minutes. Master storytelling. Master storytelling. Know how to tell stories. When I started, I said I was going to tell stories. And trust me, maybe tonight you might not remember some of these prints, but you remember the stories. You will remember the stories because I've also experienced it. I've attended classes and trainings, and I remember the story. Once I remember the story, it will begin to bring, oh, this is the speaker. The speaker also said this thing. It will connect me to it. And that's the same thing stories can do for you. Share your story. You might feel like, oh, this story is small. No story is small. No story is small. No story is small. You might feel, okay, oh, my story is small. Don't let me share it. Let me wait for a big story. I used to say that your small story can inspire the world in big ways. Your small story can inspire the world in big ways. When people read your story, they want to connect with you. They want to join you. They want to partner with you. They want to recommend you. Tell your stories. Learn how to tell stories, right? In whatever you do. When you talk, tell stories. When you write, tell stories. When you pitch, tell stories. Just make it a storytelling year. So I think this is where I'll be stopping tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
Wow, wow, wow. Can I see your fire emojis, please, everybody? Oh my God. I think that we thought less of this FutureEdge conference because what I'm getting is more than what I ordered. I don't know if the story is the same for you, but if it's the same, let me see your fire emojis in the comments. Let me see your fire emojis. Where's your energy? Has everybody gone to sleep? Okay, Onwe Ozema, I cite you. Let's see others. Let's see others. Let's have it. Let's have it. This session has been okay. Describe this session in one word. Describe this session in one word. Mr. Israel Alabi, thank you very much. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've learned so much, right? Mr. Asian Alabi has spoken on how to maximize opportunities, how to not just get the opportunity, but how to sustain it. And I think our best part would be the part where you talked about mindset. You probably did not see that coming. You would have been thinking, how does mindset tally with this one? When you mentioned mindset, I was like, okay, let's see. But when you began to talk, I was like, word. The fact that your mindset um either repels you or moves you closer to opportunity and maintaining them is a mind-blowing stuff for me. Because he mentioned that if you failed at a particular thing, what do you do? So the difference between you basically and the person that has great opportunity is your mindset. And do you remember that part where you mentioned? I don't want to, I don't want to state some things that stood out for me. You remember that part where you mentioned that you are probably looking at some people that why are you doing too much? You almost say you don't plenty. I don't really know how to speak pidgin. Pardon me. But yeah, you're looking at that person that your own is too much. What's your own? And the person is looking at what he is doing as I'm doing too small. This is too small for me. This is too small. I'm not supposed to be here. The difference between those two people, Mr. Labe said, is their mindset, and I totally agree with it. Like totally. So it has been a session of jotting down, writing down, nodding my head, saying, remark, and writing down action points because it broke my table. It shook and broke my table too at some point. So I don't know what it has been like for you, but I'll be in this comment section reading. Okay, Onwe says she will describe this session as insightful. Okay, come on. Daniel says, thank you so much, Sir Israel. Solomon Otter says, thank you for this powerful session. Queen says, thank you very much, sir, for this valuable insight. Thank you. And I want you to mention the valuable insight. What is one thing that you've taken out from this session and that you will be executing? Because it is one thing to learn and it is another thing to apply what you've learned. So what is one thing that you've learned from everything that Mr. Israel Alabi has mentioned, said, spoken on, and how or what is one thing you've learned and you'll be executing? The session was revealing. Like it was like there's been a veil and then there's now a reveal. Come on, Solomon Ota, I love that. I love that word. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Israel Alibi. It has been a pleasure having you on this platform, and I am so happy that I joined this session. So we are going to have just 5 minutes more of your time to take questions and answers. We hope that it does not exceed that time, but if it does, we apologize in advance. All right. So While you type in what you've learned and what you'll be executing, I'll also like you to type in your questions. If you have questions you want to tell Mr. Israel Alabi, or how did you do this? He has told us so many stories. Me, I've heard so many stories of how we saw. Oh my God. All right. So, but if you have questions on how he secured this one, on how he or maybe you want him to what's it called? You want him to buttress on a particular point. How did he work on his mindset? What are the breakdown? You mentioned affirmations, right? It was reading affirmations. He didn't even know that it was working, but he was just reading it. And at some point, then he also mentioned that he read books. He mentioned the titles of some books. So if you want him to buttress on a point, you have someone you are confused. Maybe one thing that he said confused you. Maybe you've heard one other thing from somebody else, and what he said is conflicting. Ask your questions now. He's here to clear your doubts and give you the answers to your questions. So let's have your questions. Let's have them coming in. Let's have them rolling in. Let's have them coming in. Let's have them rolling in. Okay, Solomon Otto says, one thing that stood out for me is the need to conduct an autopsy on your setbacks. You got that. I got that too. Thank you very much. So it says, I won't just allow setbacks to slide. I will always find out why they happen, because if you don't find out how or why, you never know the way forward. Thank you very much, Solomon. Daniel says, your brand is a passport to success. I got that, Rema. Good one. Okay, Solomon has a question. Mr. Israel, Solomon has a question. He says, kindly mention some websites we can get. Okay, kindly mention some websites we can get updates for. Sorry, kindly mention some websites we can get updated for these grants and opportunities. That's like, where are the places where we can see opportunities for grants and everything that you've mentioned.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Thank you for the feedback actually. Then the question, I'm sorry, yeah, websites where you can get opportunities. One of them is, it depends on what you are looking for. No, I mentioned something at the beginning, that what exactly are you looking for? Know what is available. So if you are in the business space, for instance, now, and you're looking for grant funding for your business or for your NGO, right? You're looking for grants. So platforms like Opportunities for Africans, opportunities for Africans.com, just type it out. You see a lot of grant opportunities there. We have opportunitydesk.org. So they share on research funding. They post about grants, they post about scholarships, right? We also have some of these. So let me, for grants now. So let me specify on grants. So for, if you're a woman, a lady, for instance, a woman, right? You can search for Flourish Africa. They give grants to women entrepreneurs. Access Bank Women Pitchathon for women. All right, you can search for these specific organizations. We have Tony Elumelu Foundation now. Their grant is even outside currently. They're giving grants to entrepreneurs. So if you are looking for grants, those are some places that you can search for. And then a very good platform for opportunities is Instagram. You just go to Instagram and type, maybe you are looking for scholarship, just type in scholarships on Instagram. They'll start showing you different opportunities. Before you know it, anytime you go on Instagram, you see opportunities. If you are looking for grants, just go on Instagram, type grants, and then you see lots of opportunities. We have your opportunities Africa is a platform, so they share a lot of these grants from the opportunities. And if you're in the academic space and you're looking for scholarships and programs like that, LinkedIn is your go-to place. LinkedIn. So sometimes you have to be strategic on the social media platforms that you're on. You might, maybe for one, you're using it to build your influence. The other one might be to attract opportunities. So if you're looking for, you want to travel out, you want to do your graduate studies, LinkedIn is good. LinkedIn and X. Right? There's a lot of things on X anyway, Shabo. You find lots of these opportunities on X. Right? A lot of their schools, a lot of their professors, business tycoons, they're on X. Especially if you're looking for foreign opportunities, X and LinkedIn. So just go there, search for whatever is your field. So even if you're a freelancer, although freelancer might, the opportunities to a freelancer might be, kind of limited, but you can still find opportunities for freelancers, and then you search for it and you find it. So I hope those ones I mentioned will really be of help.
All right, thank you very much. I hope that Solomon Otta has gotten his the answers to his questions. And from every indication, I see that there are no more questions. So on this note, I want to really appreciate you, Mr. Israel, and I want to say that on behalf of the convener of this event, we are grateful, the team and the convener, we are very grateful for honoring our invitation. We are happy to have you. We are glad that you've shared your story, right? Both before and after, more like that with us. Thank you very much for every value that you've dished out. I really appreciate. And we look forward to learning from you. You can follow Mr. Israel Alabi on every social media platform. You can follow our first speaker too on every social LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. Is TikTok? Mr. Israel, I don't know if you're on TikTok. Are you on TikTok, Mr. Israel?
Not really.
Okay. Well, you're on,
Yeah, LinkedIn,
okay, well, you're
Facebook,
on.
uh, Instagram. Yeah, but LinkedIn
So
and Facebook, they are
what are
already
your handles? What are your what's
Israel
your
Alabi.
name on those?
Israel Alabi.
All right, all right,
On Instagram,
all
it
right.
is the Israel Alabi. That's TH in front.
Okay, so Israel Alabi, but on Instagram it is the Israel Alabi. I would just advise that you go and follow him immediately, right away. Sure, you've seen the value that you've gotten here. There is even much more. Because when he was speaking, he mentioned that he has shared some of these things on his timeline in bits, right? So you can just follow him for more, and from there you can. I mean, he mentioned that opportunities flow in your circle, so you can be a part of the circle. So, yes, thank you very much, Mr. Israel. Thank you very much, Sir Prominence. Thank you very much to Future Edge Conference. Thank you very much to my audience. Your energy was, how did that thing? Top notch this night. And I really appreciate being the host of this event. Thank you very much, Solomon Otta. I think that we are going to give a gift, Sha. But let me see how we do the giveaway after the appreciation. Bolarinwa, thank you very much for being here from the beginning up till now. Angela, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Solomon Ota. Thank you very much, Danielle. Thank you very much, Queen. Thank you very much, Onwe Ozioma. Thank you very much, Adebayo. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you very much, Exceeding Life Network Africa. Thank you very much, Sir Prominence. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Chine Chirim Favor. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I hope I'm not missing anybody out. Thank you, Kuho. Thank you very much. I'm even supposed to say that you should state where you are joining from, but I think that we'll do that later, probably in subsequent days. Right. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate your presence. I'm grateful for that you could give out your time to come get value. I hope to see you on other days. I hope that you'll be here on other days. I hope that you will join on other days because there is more to come. There is more to come. And on this note, I will be saying that you execute, take action on everything that you've learned here and everything that you're still going to learn after now. Ensure that you execute, ensure that you take action. Write down those action plans immediately. Don't postpone it. Immediately. And it's going to work for you. Trust me. It's going to work for you. Thank you very much once again for joining. I am Laduni Pisolaoluwa and I've been your event host for this session, for day one of the Future Edge Conference. And I hope that your life has experienced a transformation through everything that you've heard. I look forward to seeing you on great stages, and I will be saying good night from now. I'll see you when we see. Bye.